What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Better late than never, because we are here to review Project Runway Season 18, Episode 5. Episode 6, you guys will get it in the next 24 hours. So, this episode, we had guest judge Cyndi Lauper. Here's the thing. I was a Cyndi Lauper stan before they called fans stans, okay? I love me some Cyndi Lauper, going all the way back to her very first Girls Just Want to Have Fun and all of that good stuff. And she's had a very storied career. She's won Tony. She's written for Broadway. She's done a lot of directing, acting, a lot of things. The challenge was basically they had to channel her 80s style but make it modern. And so she was gonna be the guest judge, and she came in and talked to the designers, and the outfit she even had on when she came. This white outfit was really beautiful. But here was the catch. This was a team challenge, and there were only going to be 2 teams. Now, because Victoria won the last challenge, she got to choose what team she wanted to be on after the teams had been chosen. So, team 1, we had Jeffrey, Brittany, Delvin, Nancy, and Young. Team 2 was Chevy, Mel, Marquise, Chelsea, and Sergio. Now, Victoria chose to be on the first team with Victoria, Jeffrey, Brittany, Delvin, Nancy, and Young. And let me be honest with you, that is probably the team I would have chosen. And I'm going to tell you why. You had Jeffrey on there, who had already said that he was a Cyndi Lauper. Like, he about fell out when she came down the stage. And we know that he has that eclectic punk style about him. So, I would have that. And then you had Nancy. No disrespect, Nancy, but you were in the 80s. I mean, so was I. You weren't my age in the 80s, but you remember the 80s from a different vantage point than the rest of the designers. Hell, half them designers weren't born in the 80s, or if they were born, they weren't old enough to know what was going on. So, I would have probably picked that team too if I were Victoria. So, I don't think it was necessarily a bad decision. Now, it's a 2-day challenge, and they got, time to, I think, 30 minutes to sketch with their team. Then they went to move, for, obviously. And y'all know whenever they had to create a mini collection. So each person had to do their own design, but it had to be cohesive because it was going to be presented as a challenge. Now, here's the thing. Every year they do these team challenges with this mini collection, and every year people make some of the same mistakes. First mistake they make, they don't understand the word cohesion. They think that cohesion means everything has to match. No. Cohesion just means that you can tell it came from the same collection. And I'll get to that later, what I mean by that. The second mistake that they always seem to make when they do these mini collection team challenges is that you always seem to have one team that is totally out of control. Like, we don't know what's going on. We're crazy. And then you always have another team that is like, yes, honey, we got this in the bag. Now, what usually ends up happening is the team that you think got it going on ends up being the team at the bottom. And the team that was all over the place usually ends up being the team at the top. Let's see what happens this time. So, Sergio proclaimed. See, listen, I don't like this Sergio dude. I really don't. He's got a nasty attitude. He's disrespectful. And he is condescending. And he looks down on people. My thing is this. You can have confidence in yourself without putting other people down. Like, those two are not, you don't have to be one in order to be you don't have to be one and be the other at the same time. Now, he decided that he was going to be in charge because he said, I'm used to being in charge. And, the trick to being in charge is being able to manage people and bring out their strengths. And, of course, he finagled the situation in a way in which he did the finale piece. Because, of course, in his mind, that is where he belongs. He is doing the finale, okay? So they're doing their thing, and they seem like they got it all together, honey. They were done before their time was even up. The other team was kind of blip, 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 blip. Brittany got on my damn nerves this episode because she was all over the place, real excited, like just extra in her head. So they go to mood, and Team 1 is all over the place. They don't know what they're picking up. They don't know what they're getting. They don't know how to make sure everybody is being cohesive and all this other stuff, honey. They're just all over the daggone place. Then you had Team 2 that seemed to have it going on. Boom, boom, boom. Brittany was in there yelling at people and going off. Like I said, Brittany was getting on my nerves because she was doing way too much. Okay, she was doing a lot. Now, they get back to the workroom and everybody gets going. Like, everybody seems to have a vision, have an idea. Now, y'all know I'm not going to sit here and go play by play of everything that went down. But let's talk about Team 2, the team with Sergio. They came up with a color scheme. They had stripes, black and white stripe, and then pink. Which is a cute color scheme. Like, I've seen outfits done. They're really cute. The problem is they made it so that every single outfit had black and white stripes and pink. Every single. So, at a certain point, it was like, really? Now, on the flip side, the other people were kind of doing their own thing. But what ended up happening was it ended up being cohesive because all of them sort of ended up having this black, and then they all had some sort of belt or chain, like belted thing to go with it. It ended up being cohesive without even really trying. Now, Nancy and the other team were not getting along. And I think that, and we've seen this happen before. The oldest person in the room tends to be dismissed. The oldest person in the room tends to be pushed aside. You have all these young millennials who think they know everything. They done gone to fashion school or wherever school, and they got everything they need. And they think they know so much more, and they have all of the answers. And at the end of the day, like I said, this is the one challenge that Nancy would have been my best friend. Because especially if I wasn't even born in the 80s. I'd be like, so tell me about the 80s, Nancy. Because she has an insight that y'all just don't have. Now, I'm not saying that Nancy may not be annoying. She may very well be annoying. I'm not in the workroom with her. But I just feel like to disrespect somebody or to dismiss somebody simply because you think they can't keep up, I think that's a rude way of thinking about things. And they did do that to her, whether they meant to do it or not. They did that to her. I mean, even something as simple as one point they were outside talking and it looked like they were having a team meeting. And it really wasn't. It just seems that they all seem to be outside. They probably all smoke or whatever. And they were probably all outside, but Nancy wasn't in there. But it seems to me like as soon as y'all started discussing the team challenge, somebody should have said, let's go get Nancy and get her input. And they didn't do that. And they absolutely made decisions without Nancy's input. So at a certain point, Nancy said, well, you know what? If they don't care about me and my input, I don't care about them and their input. And she just kind of did her own thing. She went on and decided to do her own thing. Now, the big monkey wrench that they threw into this was they had to make their own accessories as well. So they took them to a Notion store and they all had to make their own accessories. And Christian, he collected all their belts. I mean, they had to make everything. Belts, earrings, everything. I think they were allowed to keep the shoes because, I mean, who gonna make some shoes? But everything else, they had to, make it. So, the other person that seemed to struggle throughout this was Melanie. Melanie was like, I'm a minimalist and, it's just outside of my wheelhouse. Y'all already know how I feel about that stuff. Y'all know what the deal is. Y'all know, again, this is not season 2. This is season 18. You know what is going to be expected of you. You know that the purpose of this is to push you out of your warehouse, to give you different experiences. Like that's what the whole purpose of this is. So, my whole attitude about it is like I just don't have a whole lot of sympathy to be honest with you at this point when it comes to a lot of these people in their wheelhouse. So sorry, I was trying to get my notes out. So, as they were working through, Marquise once again was struggling. Yeah, Marquise was struggling. His outfit was just very, You know what I mean? It wasn't exciting. I didn't think it was a horrible. Okay, let's go to it. Because y'all know, I done gave y'all the workroom. Now, like I said, what ended up happening was Team 1, which was all over the place and real crazy, ended up being the team that was the most, cohesive. And then team 2, who seemed like they had it going on, was a little too cohesive. Like I said, that pink, black and white stripe with the pink was just too much. It was overkill. There were a couple of really cute outfits in the mix, but it was just too cohesive, you know. And y'all know, Delvin, y'all know how Delvin roll. You know, he doesn't like group challenges. He doesn't like, you know, he likes to do his own thing. He likes to be independent, honey. Y'all know Delvin. Delvin doesn't, I've just come to the conclusion that Delvin doesn't like anything. If they say white, he's going to say black. If they say up, he's going to say down. So, you just can't please him. And so, you know, it is what it is. So, let's go down the fashions, child. So, Marquise had a short outfit, a short set. I didn't think it was horrible. They seemed to think it was horrible. I thought it was okay. I didn't see a lot of punk in it. I don't know. I didn't think it was horrible, but it didn't wow me either. Chelsea had this really cute jumper. I liked her jumper. Again, it was that black and white stripe, and it had like a billowy shoulders and the legs. I liked Chelsea's outfit. Melanie had this pink dress, and here are my notes. It was she had a mesh cover, a mess, and it was. That's the other thing I think they did to try to be a little cohesive. They had this mesh. It wasn't. It's not. Mesh isn't the correct. Mesh isn't the correct material, but they had like these sheer covers. That's not the right material. The material is escaping me right now. Chevy had this flare dress that I thought was with a bustier. I thought it was really cute. I liked Chevy's outfit. I thought his outfit was really cute. Sergio had pants with like a they like slit in the front, opened up, and they were held together with these. And then he had that tulle, and then he had that cover. It was hideous. It was absolutely atrocious what Sergio came up with. Mr. I got all of this taken care of, and I know what I'm doing. Young, I think she had I liked her outfit. I felt like it was very punk, and hers was black and everything. Brittany, she had the shoulder pads with the pink chains. I wasn't crazy about Brittany's outfit. They seemed to like it. I wasn't crazy about it. Delvin, he had a grunge. I typed on my notes say grunge light. He's got the handkerchief skirt thing going, and I like the material that he found to do his dress out of it. I thought it was really cute. Delvin's was okay. It didn't wow me, but I didn't think it was the worst thing out there either. I didn't think it was horrible. I kind of liked it. Jeffrey had black pants with this like black with the spikes, and it was, to me, it very it very much was a throwback to the 80s. It very much was. Mancy, she had a tulle with black green. That was my notes, so I don't know. It was okay. I didn't think it was horrible. It was okay. So I'm gonna give you your tops and I'm gonna give you your bottoms. So top was so the winning team, that's where the winner was gonna be picked from, the winning team, and then the losing team, somebody had to go home, obviously. So the winning team, so team 2 won. Team Chaotic, that's what they started calling them. Team Chaotic ended up winning, which I knew the minute I saw that black and white stripe with the pink. I said, yeah, this ain't gonna go over too well. I just knew that was too much cohesion. Like, I just knew that was too much. Okay. So we had Jeffrey, Victoria, and Brittany were in the top. And I felt like Victoria was giving us the same aesthetic. I feel like she's that slanted dress with the. I feel like she's doing the same thing over and over again. But the judges seem to love it. See, this is where me and the judges come up, and I'm like, to me, I feel like they have their favorites. That's why I liked it. I liked when they had gone to the blind, where it wasn't. they didn't know who it was. Because my thing is, if aesthetically it tells you who it is, that's one thing. But I feel like they make up their mind who they like, and then they let certain things slide, and then the people they don't like, they nitpick. Because Victoria has made that same damn, in my dress like 3 times already, but whatever. So it was Brittany, Victoria, and Jeffrey. At the bottom was Sergio, Melanie, and Marquise. Now, when the judges were doing their critiques and stuff, needless to say, Mr. Sergio was not happy. And Mr. Sergio was very rude. And he let it be known that he knew what he was doing and the judges didn't. And he stood by his garment and he knew and he was right. And if they didn't agree with him, then they didn't know what they were doing. I mean, it was terrible. I mean, he was so rude and so disrespectful that I really thought he was going to get sent home. But I think that was a situation where somebody else was just worse. I think, so the person that ended up getting sent home was Melody. And I think what took Melody over Sergio's rudeness was the fact that, at least in the past, Sergio had made stuff that the judges did like. Whereas with Melanie, she hadn't done anything outstanding. Like, they didn't know who she was. She hadn't stood out. She hadn't been in the top. She hadn't done anything that they thought was great up until that point. And so it was like, okay, yeah, Sergio is an asshole, but they're used to dealing with assholes. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're used to that. But they know that he's made some great garments and he's been in the top before. And I really think that's what got him his stay in this particular situation. But so Melanie ended up being sent home, and the person who was at the top, they quickly eliminated Brittany, because like I said, I think they only put Brittany up there because they felt like they needed to put 3 people, because I don't think Brittany's outfit was all that great. But it was Victoria and Jeffrey, and they ended up giving it to Jeffrey. And y'all, I thought Jeffrey was going to fall out, because Jeffrey was saying how Cyndi Lauper really was like a muse to him, and that her living life on my own terms attitude really helped him. He said he came from a military background, and it was a really hard childhood for him and a really hard situation for him. And he very much connected with Cyndi Lauper, and very much it was a stand. And I mean, I thought he was going to fall out. He was so happy because the whole episode was like, I just can't disappoint her. Like, this is my challenge. This is my challenge. And so the whole episode, I was just thinking, please just let him be in the top. Like, even if he didn't win, I just didn't want her to hate his outfit. You know what I mean? But she absolutely loved his outfit. She said she would wear it. She could see herself wearing it. And it very much reminded her of, you know, it met the challenge. So it was a good episode. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get it to you guys, but love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.